Welcome everybody, and thank you so much for clicking on this video regarding my thoughts on the Kim Kardashian, Kris Jenner, and Ray J scandal that has made us all kind of rethink. Did we truly keep up with the Kardashians? If you haven't heard about the story about Ray J and Kim and this tape that they keep referring to, then kudos to you, because this has been an ongoing narrative for approximately 20 or so years. And on September 11th, Ray J pretty much was done with the buffoonery, and he came out with all the receipts. He took out all the receipts to show that he did nothing wrong in this. He not only showed the text messages, DMs. Ray J once again wanted to let us know the original video that was distributed to the masses was actually recorded during a birthday celebration for Kim Kardashian in 2002, where both parties, Kim and Ray J, consensually decided to film an intimate moment between the two of them. The now infamous adult tape was distributed by Vivid Entertainment in 2007 that showed the raw, edited footage of Kim and Ray J during that intimate moment. However, as alleged by Ray J, prior to Vivid even distributing this video commercially, Kris Jenner had Kim and Ray J film not one, not two, but 3 films in order to decide which video was good for consumer consumption, as they have already inked a deal with ET reality show called The Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So let me just reiterate. Kris Jenner, Momager to Kim Kardashian, viewed 3 films of Ray J and Kim engaging in intimacy that involved possibly fellatio, possibly backdoor action. Do you get where I'm going with this? This was a little bit more than just invasion of privacy. So the mother was at a computer or sitting on her couch with it on her TV and just watching and seeing where they can make edits, whether it was the contrast or the volume. We don't know how deep Kris Jenner was in the editing of the film that most people in America and around the world viewed. But that should make us all pause. And you've heard many people who said the adult tape wasn't as theatrical as you would have thought if somebody was going to release a tape. But now knowing that Kris Jenner, her mother, was involved in the editing of the movie or film, it makes more sense why certain things were not in there. It may not have flowed like that because that's what they did not want us to see. Because again, she wanted her daughter to not look so raunchy in a film. If you are one of the small percentage of people that are not shocked by this behavior, even though I really hope you would be, let me give you some other examples that might make you rethink this situation. If you watch the first season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, you should remember the infamous Playboy photo shoot where Kim ordained herself with risque outfits, including one in particular where she simply wore a necklace of pearls. During that episode, you can visibly see Kim wasn't too keen on being nude, but her mother kept reassuring her and insisting that she completes the photo shoot. So this is just another example of Kim's mother, Kris Jenner, her manager, being intimately involved in the commercial take and ultimate distribution of digital or pictorial artwork that basically implicitly promises earnings, as she saw during the Vivid deal, where both parties made hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially. To further illustrate the psychopathy of the Kardashian clan, let's check out the interview that they had in 2021, where they discussed the ending of ET's Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I'm going to read out an excerpt from that interview where the host asked the ladies if there was anything they regretted or would like to relive again. So they were asked, what do you guys think about the Kourtney waxing Khloe's nether regions? Relive or regret? And Kourtney immediately exclaimed she would like to relive that again. Later, Kim was asked about her Playboy shoot, in which Kim scrunched her nose and shook her head as if to signify she regretted the 2007 magazine snaps. During that time, the sisters saw her emotions and they all said loudly, they're over it, regret, regret, indicating to move on with the questioning. Ironically, in that same People magazine where I saw this article regarding their last reunion for ET's Keeping Up with the Kardashian, it stated in the article that in 2007, when she did the Playboy shoot, it reiterated the fact that Kris overseed the entire process and encouraged her to continue with the photo shoot. So many of you are sitting there and you've heard this and you're just like, you're outwardly or actually inwardly disgusted by the thought that a mother would view a film of their daughter engaging in adult activities simply for financial gain. But I actually see it a little differently, not saying that that was not disgusting, but I want to go even further with that particular sentiment. Now what I'm going to do is going to show you some pictures, and I want you to view each picture and think of, why am I showing these pictures and what does it have to do with the current scandal, or actually not current scandal, but the scandal regarding the Kim and Ray J adult tape. And see if you can see where I'm going with this. Do you see a theme? Those were all men, and I did find one single woman. There's many of them, so please don't think that I'm not trying to put women into this, but I wanted to show you that by doing a simple Google search, there are many other celebrities that if they did the same thing or something similar, they were chastised, they were demeaned, they were prosecuted. And yet, when we hear the same thing being done by a mother to their child, even if they're the so-called loved family of the country or the world by some people, no one's talking about this. We need to stop having or giving examples of women being, when they're the predators, and acting like this is more of just a wet dream trope, rather than classifying as what it should be, which is a crime, regardless of their status economically or whatever may have you. We need to keep the same energy. Now that you've heard, what has been alleged and displayed on TV, national TV, I want to expand further on why, based on the information provided, I believe with all things withstanding, a crime may have, allegedly have, occurred. And the crimes I'm referring to are either human exporting or intimate exploitation. Now, I'm using these words not because those are the actual terminology when you look it up. It's because of the YouTube platform. I do want to be respectful of the platform and use words that are acceptable. So please understand that is why I'm using the term exporting and the term intimate for another term that you guys probably know what I'm referring to. But human exporting refers to a crime whereby a trafficker exploits and profits at the expense of an adult or a child by compelling them to perform labor or engage in commercial intimacy. And human exporting can take place even if the victim, initially consented to providing labor, services, or commercial intimate acts. Now, Kim and Ray J reside in California. So, per the California Penal Code 11165.1, a person who knowingly promotes, aids, or assists, employs, uses, persuades, induces, or coerces, let's say a child, or a person responsible for a child's welfare, who knowingly permits or encourages a child to engage in or assist others to engage in prostitution or live performance involving obscene, intimate conduct, or to either pose or model alone or with others for purposes of preparing a film, photograph, a negative, slide, or other pictorial depiction involving obscene, intimate conduct. Even though the law can be interpreted in many ways, we need to hold even the most powerful people, like a Harvey Epstein, like a R. Kelly. We need to hold them at the same, penal system that we as lay people have to follow. So again, I need to remind you guys, it has been alleged that Kris Jenner, the mother, Kim Kardashian, the manager, viewed an intimate film, 3 films, for commercial sale, and also potentially pushed her daughter to engage in a Playboy shoot that she did not want to do, but just told her basically of how much money they can potentially make. Because everything, as you've seen, if you followed the Kardashian or the Jenner clan, a lot of the stuff that they do is not because they're trying to be giving people or whatever. They're doing it more for, let's just call it what it is, one of the 7 deadly sins: greed. At the end of the day, as Kanye said, he is concerned his daughter can end up the same way. Many of you can argue he should have known better, and honestly, you're right. But I also feel that at that time when they got together, him and Kim, he was going through a tough time. That was during a time that he lost his mother. But nevertheless, it doesn't negate the fact that he was privy to the same information we had. He saw the Playboy shoot. He heard of this adult tape. But either way, if this is what the mother did to Kim, to Chloe, and to all her other daughters, what could she possibly do, potentially, allegedly, to her grandkids? Or being that her children were accustomed to having to be extra sexy, to have to do things that they may not be comfortable with in order to change statuses, why do you think that the daughters may not try to do the same to their own children? And again, this is all alleged, but we have to be honest. If they, at this age, still don't know what's wrong or right, why are we going to assume that they would do right by their children? I know that was kind of heavy. But I really want everyone to start thinking it outside of it just being a joke, something to laugh about. We all thought that Kim and all the other rest of the children were pimped. We all thought of it and laughed amongst each other. But now we're older and we know that there's stuff that adults that we may look up to have done wrong. So, are you one of those who feels the laws are different for women versus what it is for men? If you heard a father help facilitate or broker a deal of a film, an adult film, that had starred his daughter, and he not only viewed 1 film, but 3, and was involved in the selling of said movie, would you be so quick to laugh it off? Or would you campaign to have the California penal system investigate and possibly prosecute because you were like, that was wrong? Remember, the more we desensitize and or overlook acts for certain groups, we're actually setting the precedence for our future children to have no moral compass. Per the Department of Defense, anyone can be an exploiter and anyone can be a victim. With all this knowledge, why are we getting wiser but also simultaneously going backwards. Thanks, y'all, for taking the time to listen to my insight on the Kardashian Ray J scandal. Let's keep the conversation going. So comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. And if you don't agree, I'm still happy that you even listened to my point of view. And if you happen to disagree, please comment below. Let's have a healthy discussion about this. This is the only way we're going to be able to change and grow. I'll wait. You guys take care. Thanks again for watching.